Good morning, guys. Hopefully everyone is good. It's a little gloomy here today. It went from being really warm and sunny to now it's like cold and gloomy, so not the best mood booster, but by the end of the week it's going to be sunny and warm. So either way, hopefully you guys had a good weekend. My weekend was productive, but not really on the YouTube side of things. I just had stuff that I needed to take care of, and so sometimes it's like that. While I was doing chores and running around, I did end up watching a couple of videos that came across my radar, and one of the first things is that the Ace family lied about selling out their Ace Fest. Shocking, I know. The Ace family lied again? No, you don't say. So, while I'm not going to go into all of the analytics of why they lied, if you're interested, I'll link a video down below. These influencers that get into the habit of lying, it's sort of like once you start, you can't stop. And I'll tell you guys, the actual reason that I don't lie is because I noticed this when I was young. When I was younger, I would tell little lies here and there to like my dad or, even friends, like, stupid like middle school and high school stuff. I would tell little lies. And the thing that I recognized was that I would have a hard time remembering what my lie was. What reason did I give? Because the whole thing is when you're telling the truth, it's easy to repeat no matter when you're asked about it because it was truthful. It's what actually happened. But unfortunately, when you get into the habit of lying, it's like some people just can't stop themselves. They cannot stop lying, and I really think that's the position that the Ace family has got themselves into, because their lies are to keep up a reputation that they've built online. They once had a reputation of being a really popular family vlogging channel, and they would get a lot of people to buy their merch or come to a meetup or participate in whatever bullshit they were shilling to their subscribers. They would get people to participate because at one point in time they were favored among people. And I'm not going to say only young people. I'm going to say, people that were in their teens too. Because early on, they weren't lying and they weren't scamming. And if they were lying, we didn't know about it. But as time went on, their reputation started to deteriorate. So now they're in the position where when they launch merch or like this Ace Fest stupid shit show, it's not going to sell out, but their egos cannot handle the fact that people aren't interested in spending money on them anymore. Yeah, you might get some views on YouTube, but as far as asking subscribers for extra money, that ship has sailed, And I think about that in the context of someone like Love Meg as well. When I think about Love Meg asking extra, she's asking people for extra money for content. Same with like Aaron Williams. I've talked about them lately. And when you think about asking people for extras, once your reputation is shot, people aren't going to buy it. At one point in time, they might have, but you've been shown now to be a greedy, money-hungry influencer, just like the rest. So when you have what you think is an exciting announcement, people aren't going to buy into it anymore. It's done. But I do think that it's kind of funny when people, come out with information about the Ace family and they have been lying and the proof is there are still people that act surprised. And I'm like, what is surprising about a a family vlogging channel that has a history of lying? Where is the surprise in an influencer couple lying to their subscribers? I'm going to do a whole separate video coming up about egos on YouTube because it's just something else that I find really interesting. But when it comes to these inflated egos on YouTube, what I find is that over time, as their popularity grows, egos know no boundaries. Whereas when you have someone who is not an egomaniac and they, and here's the thing, egomaniac versus someone who is confident are two completely different things. I know there's been people in the past that have said that I'm, a snob or a snobby bitch or, any combination of those characteristics. But there's a huge difference between having confidence in stuff that you do versus just being an egomaniac and being an absolute asshole. Because I have boundaries. There are certain things that I will not do on YouTube. There are certain things that I will not say. There are certain subjects that I won't cover. There's a level of respect that I have for my subscribers. And one of those things is not lying. Just don't lie. It is so easy to just be truthful. And I know that old saying, sometimes the truth is ugly and it's what we don't want to necessarily hear. But 2 years from now or 2 months from now, when you're asked a question about a certain topic that you talked about, you will be able to recite exactly what happened because you did not embellish it or exaggerate it. It's really funny because with Katie Joy, Without a Crystal Ball, I've noticed this a lot with her, where during her time online, we obviously know that she has a history of embellishing things and exaggerating stories for clicks and views so that she can get, she's the first one with the video. She has the breaking news. And over time, you'll see these topics come back up, or she's asked questions about the subjects, and she cannot recite it because the whole thing, or half the thing, was completely made up. And don't get me wrong, I completely recognize that we live in a world of clickbait. We live in a world of people wanting online fame and the money that comes along with it. So I'm not oblivious to that. But the measures that some people will go just to maintain a reputation is what's alarming to me. I mean, you have people lying about everything under the sun. And if it's not for money, it's for sympathy. If it's not for sympathy, it's for attention. There's just like no boundaries. And when I talk about the McLeod fam, Ika, she is someone who, she received praise and attention for what she was doing on TikTok. So she continued to do it, and she continued to just get rid of any boundaries that she might have had at one point in time by showing her children in medical, positions, having health issues. And maybe at one point in time she would have said, oh, there's no way that I would post my sick child. But because of the attention, her ego grew, and therefore her boundaries depleted, essentially. It is a little wild when I sit back and think about the measures that people are willing to go to. But I think with the Ace family, they are fully aware that their popularity is starting to decrease. And the conversations that are happening between them, Catherine and Austin behind the scenes, and conversations that are probably happening with their management team, their accountant, their financial advisor, assuming they have one, probably some really tough conversations, because their nest egg was YouTube and they completely exploited it, and now they are most likely in a financial downfall, if I had to take a gander. And it's probably creating a whole lot of stress. And in all of these situations, I don't feel bad for the parents. I always feel bad for the kids. You've got these kids, their entire childhood from birth has been put onto the internet. And yeah, sure, like they might have had toys and a nice car, take them to school, and a trampoline and a swimming pool and fun stuff for their childhood. But when your parents fuck it off because they're pathological liars trying to chase a reputation that they once had, all of that goes away. And what are the kids left with? A childhood that's been exploited, and parents that didn't care enough to at least take care of the opportunity they were given. Because that's the really wild thing, is you look at the Ace family or the LeBrants, or even someone like family like 8 Passengers. You're given this lifestyle on a silver platter, and it's given you it's put you in a financial position that you were never in before. Yeah, you got there by being scummy because you showed your kids to the world, but you have this opportunity and they sit there and just act like assholes. It's the craziest thing to me. And the people that are watching their content, not talking about the, kids that are in their audience, but the small percentage that are people in their 20s or 30s, they're watching this content be produced while they are, half of them are trying to figure out how they're going to feed their kids. And I'm not saying that that is the fault of the family vlogger, but I just find it so interesting because when I put out videos, I think of the people like me that are watching my videos. And as my channel grows one by one, I still think, who is watching this video? It might be someone who just got fired. It might be someone who doesn't know how they're going to come up with rent for the next month. It might be someone who lost a family member and is going through a really hard time. That might have put them in a hard financial position. So I don't know. I just try to think of that, and I have not done a perfect job by any means. But as far as jumping up on my channel and just flexing some completely unattainable lifestyle to subscribers, that is something that I will never do. I will never participate in flex culture. And, I think that showing people what you buy is, obviously I do that sporadically, but as far as just completely flexing on people, it's just really, really distasteful. But anyway, I did want to share my thoughts on that. I am not surprised one bit that the Ace family lied. I am at the point where I don't believe a word that they say, because once you've been caught in a pattern of lies like they have been, how can I believe a word that you say? Trust is gone, and I don't need to trust the fucking Ace family. Like, I don't watch them. I don't, aside from commentary purposes, like, I don't really care. But it is kind of funny to just see people like, oh my God, they lied again. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what a lot of influencers do. So it is what it is. But anyway, that's going to be it for now. I hope you guys are good. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.